What's up, everybody? We are back, finally, after a not long, but a couple week hiatus due to COVID and touring and schedule conflicts. But we're back, episode 5. Welcome back, Hollywood Tales.
We are back.
And we're live today from Jam in the Van right here in West Hollywood. If you don't know this space, come check it out, man. Go to jaminthevan.com. It's music, it's comedy, it's podcasts, it's... I forgot to mention, maybe I did in the past episode, this is the next rehab center, which is perfect for artists. But right next door, there's a mosque, like an Islamic mosque. So, I don't know, I just thought that was a funny coincidence. I think I haven't gone over there yet because I'm afraid. Not for my life, like I'm going to get shot in the mosque. More like God's going to judge me for being a gem in the van.
You do smell like weed up in here.
Thank you so much. Blake Barty, our host, co-host. Wolf Ramirez over here, matrixing it behind the computer screen here.
Wolf hooked us up with this new desk here, which looks beautiful.
I know. We had a green couch for a minute, and we decided to switch it up because we felt like we were being lazy, like just laying here like, hey, man, what's your next thing? You know, it got too groovy. And I figured, you know what? Sit up fucking straight and have a desk like we're at school. You know, we're prophesizing. We have an Oscar and the 101 sign. Sierra Nevada, thanks for sponsoring Jam in the Van.
Orangina, I don't know if that's a sponsor, but it's delicious.
We've had some cool guests in the past. Tom Morello, Peter Billingsley, who, by the way, did you see the article I sent you?
Yeah.
Peter Billingsley, who was on episode number 2, I believe, of our Hollywood Tales podcast, virtually, just got a movie greenlit to make A Christmas Story, the sequel.
Christmas Story.
And they're shooting in Hungary or Bulgaria or some like weird Eastern European country, I guess, for... It's cheaper.
And there's snow.
And there's snow. We have Rachel Sterling on our show today. You know her from Wedding Crashers. She was on Workaholics. She's running late.
Yeah.
But we could talk about what happened last week. Yeah. Go ahead. Blake Barty is an up-and-coming comic. He's been doing stand-up comedy he's done it probably after this last tour. You've probably done stand-up comedy, like legit stand-up comedy 20 times in your whole life?
Yeah.
Right? Or more?
Probably a little more, but you know.
Okay, well, let's drop the attitude. All right. Probably 23, bro.
Ahmed was gracious enough to take me on tour with him.
Hey, you were gracious enough to come be my, supporting act, let's call it. It was fun. We had a good time.
We went to Dallas, 4 shows. Hyenas, great club, super fun.
Blake got his, he popped his cherry. Let's just say that as a comic. He got to go on the road and experience not only being a comic on the road in the clubs, but like the actual travel aspect of it, because that was tough, right? That kind of burned you out.
Yeah.
You were like, I don't know how you do it. And I was like, tequila, man. Little tequila goes a long way. Blanco.
You definitely like to party, man. I will give you that.
It's not so much partying. Like, I'm not out, like, at the club. Okay, one time we went to the club in Miami.
No, you just want to stay out.
I'm a night owl.
But every morning you're like, man, maybe we should just... I like to keep it light, get a salad, maybe go to the beach, just jump in the water,
Yeah, you're right. And
then that night I'm like, hey, let's shut it down. The show's over. You're like, nah, we got to find a karaoke bar. And
that's my thing, Wolf. Every city we go to, I have to sing Don't You Forget About Me by Simple Minds. Actually, I don't have to sing it. I want to sing it. But my voice, I can't sing. I don't have like a singer's voice. I don't have... octaves. I can't vocalize. Really? You seem like you'd be a good singer. I can't sing worth shit, but I'm a great showman. And we were at this karaoke bar in what city was that? It was Dallas, right?
That was Dallas, yeah.
We were in Dallas, and there was like this big ass bar, man. Where people
No. That was Naples, actually.
Was it Naples? Shit, it's all a blur.
Yeah, it's all blur.
We were in Naples, Florida, at this big ass bar, and there were people like singing karaoke, and then there was like a woman sitting at the bar. She had like spiky blonde hair, and she was kind of like watching everybody. She was like waiting to go up, I think. I went up. I sang "Don't You Forget About Me" by Simple Minds. When I came off stage, she comes up to me and she goes, "Oh my God, you're such a great showman." And I go, "Thanks."
You're like, bitch, what about my singing?
Yeah, I was like, she basically said, "Your singing fucking sucks, but you're a great showman." I'll take showman over voice, right? Because then that's just being a comedian, technically.
I enjoyed it. I did a little R. Kelly remix to Ignition.
He did R. Kelly, and all the chicks loved it. It was like great. It was a great thing. Blake, if you guys are watching, Blake technically he's technically white. Like he looks white, appears like a white person. Trust me. It's all makeup. This guy. So then after Dallas, we went to we had 2 days off in Miami. Tell them about the nightclub experience.
Oh yeah, that was nice.
50 Cent.
Well, yeah, we
Or
met
start
up-
from the top.
Yeah,
we went to meet
meet some friends.
some friends at a bar at the Lowe's. Walked next door, had some really nice like Mediterranean. Keep it down. Thanks, buddy. See, this is why we have Wolf. He's like, "Hey man, keep the mic down. You're not on stage." Thanks, dude. Had a nice dinner at this like Mediterranean place.
Yeah.
And then the guy we were with was like, "Hey, I got a couple free, passes to go to see 50 Cent."
I feel like you're skipping a little bit. Let's
Really?
talk about that dude a little bit.
Oh,
Can we?
Or-
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't want to get fucking whacked tomorrow. This guy ran for mayor of New York, and he's like a restaurateur, and he's a friend of a friend. I don't know if I should mention names because
Nah, but yeah, he came in. You could tell he was somebody.
he was
sure.
somebody.
He came in.
He looked like I feel like I was watching Goodfellas. He came in all snazzy and
super
like cool,
tailored suit.
nice suit.
I'm wearing a fucking zip up hoodie with a backwards hat. He looks at me like, "Oh, didn't know you invited peasants to dinner."
Yeah, I know, right? I had a vest, not like a nice vest, like a fucking like Under Armour vest. This
That,
guy walks
that
in
Back
with-
to the Future vest, man. You should keep that.
I know that guy said that. Somebody said that to me. Let me get the vest because I just want people to see the vest.
Oh my god.
made me mad that he said that. I didn't like that.
Anyway, so we're at this nice dinner. The guy's a little standoffish at first, but then he became friendly, and he's like, "Hey, I got some. I got a table at this club. 50 Cent's hosting tonight. Let me see if I can get you guys in."
Real
So
quick,
that was a nice welcome to Miami.
real quick. Does this look like the Back to the Future vest? I don't know.
Nah, the guy was trying to be
He's
funny.
trying to clown me.
He was just trying to be funny. You need a warm core when you're 51.
The guy at the bartender said it to me, and he goes, "That's a nice vest. Keep it." I was like, "Keep it? What do you think I fucking bought it, guy? What are you doing?" Anyhow,
So yeah, we end up at the club, and it was very Miami.
it was packed, and
Super.
it was wall to wall, and I started getting claustrophobic. But we saw Busta Rhymes. Mm-hmm. Busta Rhymes walk by us. That's my Hollywood tale. Thank you guys so much. I'll be here all week.
He's pretty jacked.
Yeah, Busta Rhymes walked in, and he was like, he's big. Is this good? All right. Wolf's like, can you move over?
It's a new space, so we're getting.
We're trying to
used
get
the area.
acclimated here, guys.
But I like this better. I like this vibe better.
Yeah, so do I.
Personally.
It's just more like, if we want to write something down, which we most likely won't. But
We'll
if
need
we
a
want,
pen and paper first, but yeah.
right? I'm going to drink my beer.
Hey Rachel, you're 10 minutes late. What's up?
I know, Rachel Sterling. You guys know Rachel from Wedding Crashers, Workaholics. She's going to come join us in a few minutes. What else? So then
Keep
after
talking about the tour because there was a lot of stuff.
a lot of stuff happened. But here, let me just go back to you being a young, up and coming comic. Did you feel ever like overwhelmed or like this is, because you're seeing it through my eyes. You're not seeing it through another comic who probably like behaves and acts normal and fucking goes to bed on time. I'm like,
As far as the venues, or are you talking about just as far as just being on the road? And well, the thing is, I want to be a good I want to hang out with you.
But I never force it. When you're like, I gotta go home, I'm like, all right, go for it.
You tell me one thing in the morning, like I was getting at, and you want to live this healthy lifestyle and hit the gym.
We're fighting Wolf.
And then as soon as nighttime hits, you're like, nah, I think we should go and like maybe just check out the karaoke bar, do one song. Yeah.
Nah, come on. Do I really act like that? I don't know.
Well, you asked, man. So yeah, it was super fun. I think just like that small little Airbnb, like just to like staying in a bunch of different hotels in different areas, trying to.
We were
sleep.
popping around. Yeah, we popped around from like the Hampton Inn to like some sort of Airbnb, like villa condo in Key West. It rained, and remember the power went out in the whole city.
Yeah, I didn't sleep that good that night.
The power went out in all of Key West, which isn't a big city, or Key, but.
I also woke up to you coughing up a fur ball. I fell back asleep. Then I woke up to you eating fucking Cheez-Its or something on the edge of your bed like a straight crackhead.
Goldfish. They were goldfish.
Goldfish crackers.
And I never
just rocking back and forth.
You gave them to me.
Well, yeah, I got some snacks. Take on the road.
We had nothing. I had nothing. And I just needed something like salt and like, some sort of carb. And I just started crushing these goldfish. But yeah, I did.
All right, let's go back to Dallas because we're jumping all over the place.
We're jumping all over. You're jumping all over.
So Dallas, super fun. 4 shows.
4 shows, 2 Friday, 2 Saturday.
Dallas
awesome crowds.
Yeah, the crowds
fun,
are
like
amazing.
Dallas
in Dallas
was fun. Big ups to Dallas. Hyenas Comedy Club.
Lawrence.
Shout out.
Lawrence.
Randy Butler, who booked us. The staff was great. Head.
And Lawrence, what's his last
Lawrence Rosales, monster comic.
Super funny.
He
thank
featured
you.
Head. Yeah, Head was awesome. He is a comic and also works for
personal assistant for
Derek something. What's his name?
His name's the Dutch Oven. That's his nickname.
What's his real name?
Derek
something. He's a pro baseball player.
He's a pitcher for the Texans.
I feel like we're disrespecting him by now. I don't follow baseball, so I don't know. But the pitcher for the.
I'm gonna fucking Google it.
Yeah, Google it. And he was telling us about how he, like his lifestyle with this guy, and I'm like, I'll take your job.
Seriously.
Like he's kind of living.
Derek Holland.
The
Dutch. The Dutch Oven.
The
yeah.
Dutch Oven. Derek Holland.
Sorry, buddy. If we come back out to Dallas, we definitely want to.
I know. No, he was like, hey, come over. We can hang out at his house. He has a movie theater, and we can cook and just whatever. Like, I was just like, I kind of wanted to go, but we were so tired. So then that happened. What else? Something weird happened in Dallas. It's all a blur, isn't it?
Dude.
In the last 9 days, because we just got back yesterday, technically, at like 11:20 a.m.
Yeah.
We were on an 8:30 flight, but we left the Friday before, got back Sunday. So 9 days, technically.
10 shows
8
in
days.
9 days.
8 days, technically, because Sunday was a travel day. So 8 days.
8 days.
And we did 10 shows. Tell the young comics out there that are watching, like, what sort of feeling did that give you?
It was good.
And you had some good shows and you had some not so good shows. And me too. That just happens.
Yeah, I learned a lot. Different parts of Florida, definitely, Naples was an older crowd, and my material maybe doesn't hit so well with, the elders. So.
Well, I think you have material that does. I don't think you.
I just didn't do it.
You didn't do it.
Wasn't paying attention. I was just. But yeah, it was super fun. It was a good experience overall.
What was your favorite show of the whole tour?
My favorite show is a tight between Hyenas and the Comedy Inn. The Comedy Inn is electric.
Comedy Inn it's the Quality Inn hotel, but they have a little showroom in there. It's a crazy story. My dear friend Mike Levine owns it. It's 3 generations of family that have and still own this little tiny. It's a Quality Inn. It's like Holiday Inn, La Quinta, like that kind of vibe. It's a little chic-y, boutique-y hotel, and it's the last stop on the way to the Keys, right? Remember, like Dixie Highway or whatever.
Oh, I think Rachel's here.
I hear Rachel. Hey, coming in hot. Come on in, girl. Hey.
Welcome. We're live on
Rachel, we're live. Come on in. Hi. Can we get you anything?
No, I've got a period.
Hi, Rachel Sterling, everyone. Hey, girl. Hey. COVID highs. Joking. How are you? Thanks for making time.
Good. I'm good. Great.
I was in the middle of a story, but fuck it.
Sorry.
No. I mean, you just gallivant in here, and I
Finish.
have
The Quality Inn.
Nah, it's all good. I like keeping it like in the moment. You know what I mean? Here, let me just finish the story really quick, and then we'll get to you. Comedy Inn, they have this little showroom in like the banquet. It's like a little banquet room. It probably seats 60, 70 people max. You walk up, you get your drinks. Seats are right up on the stage. It's packed. It's like a bunch of sardines in a can. And you can feel the energy because they're pumping the music. They got a disco ball. They're really trying to create the vibe. People are getting drinks. The show starts, and it's rocking. And then Blake goes up, and probably the best set of the tour. And I typically I don't do this with young comedians. All right, I don't want to pat you on the fucking back every time and say good job, but he fucking killed it. He murdered it. It was, I think, a great piece of tape for you to have, in your arsenal when you're submitting to clubs and whatever. So Comedy Inn, Mike Levine, if you're ever in Miami, go check this place out. It's at comedyinn.com, basically. Hi.
That was a hell of a punchline.
Welcome. Welcome to our little thing. We had a green couch
What happened to it?
at one point. I felt like we were too lazy. Like we were
The
all
couch?
we were like, hey man, so what happened?
Yeah.
It just felt too groovy. And I like the groove in here, but I also like being, astute and like,
Yeah,
I might want to write something. You know what I mean?
it's true.
Where are you coming from?
I'm coming from Hollywood.
This is Wolf Ramirez, by the way.
Hi, how are you?
Our producer, engineer.
I can't really see him. He's behind the computer. I just see legs. I see legs poking
Sea
out.
legs. Where are you coming from? A show? Oh, open mic?
Yeah, I had a mic, and then I planned it out that I was gonna go take care of my friend's cats because she's out. And then I got distracted borrowing clothes from her closet, hence why I left 5 minutes late, and then I was
You're good.
10 minutes.
Rachel's an old dear friend of mine.
Not that old. No,
I'm sorry. She's a dear friend of mine. But we've known each other like, what, 10 years?
a while. Yeah.
She's been in Wedding Crashers. She was on Workaholics. She was
Reno
in
911.
Reno 911. She's been in Max Magazine. Can I say Pussycat Doll?
I mean, you can say it. It's not
She was a
illegal.
pussy. She was a pussy. She was a pussycat doll, which they don't just hire anybody. And she has transitioned beautifully into comedy the last 2.5 years, 3 years.
Yeah, going. Well, it'll be 3 years in spring.
All right, so you had this like awesome career doing all this other stuff. Why stand up comedy? Like, what was the? Is that like your last straw? You're like, I'm never gonna.
This is it, man. This is the end of the line. There's nothing left I can do. I took a break from anything entertainment industry wise for a long time because I was sick and I ran a business.
What were you sick with? If you don't. Mind?
I had a tumor. I had a little. It's gone now. I'm fine. But
It's gonna be okay, people.
it's okay, people. I'm all right. It was a 12-pound tumor. It was in my uterus. It basically looked like I was pregnant for a few years until I found the right team to take it out. And unfortunately, with the niche parts that I get are pretty much look-based, all of them. So I just, didn't feel comfortable going to auditions. My agent was like, just go anyway. And I'm like, nah, I'm not going to do it. Yeah. So I decided to be a normal person, traded in my wings and ran a business and lived amongst the humans, and that sucked. Never want to do it again. I'm so happy.
What
The
was the
best
business?
thing about
what
COVID
was
is
the
I was like,
business?
oh shoot, we have to close the business, yay!
What
And
was it?
it's a waxing salon. It was on Third. It was called Stripped Wax Bar.
I didn't know that. I wish I
Yeah,
would have known. I would.
I'm glad for the opportunity to run a business. Like I know how to run a business. I know how to deal with employees and all that other
I wish
shit.
I would have known about it. I would have got my back waxed.
Come get-
I swear to God, I'm not joking. Like I have. Look,
I can send a girl to your house to wax your back. I still have all my employees.
Even better.
Yeah, but
Even better. Even better.
yeah, I just kind of toward the end, before COVID, I was really antsy about. I wasn't happy, and I thought being a normal. I put a high price on being a normal person. I was like, maybe I just need to be a normal person. Do you ever do that when you just think you could live amongst
yesterday,
people?
actually.
You're like, I'm just going to be a normal person, and you think that's the way because there's
not
so
the
many other
answer.
normal people, and they seem fairly happy. And
Fairly, I like it said fairly.
and it's just one of
Fairly.
those things. I'm like, you know what? I am nowhere near normal, and I just don't. There's things that I do that are very like average, but like as far as just the day to day, like this is what we do of the same thing every single day. It might work for some people. It really doesn't for me. And then running a business is okay, but I just really wasn't happy. And I
Okay.
wanted to perform, but I didn't want to. The audition process for movies and television has changed. So now you have to self-tape. I hate that shit.
hate
I
self-tape too.
cannot stand it. I'm like, so now I got to do lighting and this and that and edit and I have to get it to you on time.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. It's
But what was your first like transition into stand up? What was your first?
I wanted to
gig?
write.
Where was your first gig?
Well, I wanted to write, and I was having a problem with just the authenticity of
With writing.
sitting down and writing. Yeah. And so someone suggested that I take a class for stand up because then at least because it kind of forces you to be the humility on stage. And I was also going through a breakup, so there was that. A friend of mine was like, "You need to get out of bed, and wash your hair. You're gonna come." And I went to the. I went to the. Oh, it was bad. It was bad. It was a bad breakup.
How long did you go without washing your hair?
Oh, I can go a long time not being sad.
What's the
And
longest?
still not wash my hair. 9 days, sir.
Well, they say
9 days, sir.
not they,
Only
but
days.
it's said that you're supposed to build up natural oils in your hair. Like you would rinse it, you just wouldn't
I
wash it
wouldn't do
with shampoo.
shit with it. I would just put more dry shampoo in it.
What is wrong with you?
I'm nasty. Yeah. So, yeah. And I just kind of,
So where was your first gig?
where was my first gig? Flapper's main room. And then the second one was at Comedy Store in Hollywood.
And so this is almost 3 years ago. Where do
Mm-hmm.
you feel like you've... Rachel, by the way, if you're following her on Instagram, Rachel, is it at Rachel Sterling? You have a couple of them.
It's R. Sterling Comedy.
Our Sterling Comedy. She's all over the place. Like, I don't know how you have the energy. She's at every mic, every show, booked for this thing. I see you'll take gigs in like Victorville and shit.
Yeah, I'll drive. If I can drive to it. Yeah.
If you don't know where Victorville is,
Yeah, be happy.
it's a little bit of a trek.
A little bit. yeah.
No, but you're hustling. You got you
Trying,
have
yeah.
No,
I-
you're not trying. You are. I can see it.
I mean, I like doing out of town gigs. It's easier to get them for me
Yeah.
out of town, and there's more kind of like there's no expectation, but there's an expectation, if that makes any sense. Because the people there, like in LA, it's the same. You see kind of the same people all the
Right.
time.
Right.
So there's this kind of like they know you before you even get on the stage a little bit, which can be good, but also like kind of boring and mundane. So if you go out of town, these people don't know any better. You know what I mean? They don't know when you started or whatever. So the expectation is you're just there to give them a good time, and you just go and do your job and you make them laugh, and you're really not really in your head about, too
That's-
much. As
I
long
feel
as it
like-
flows.
I feel like Blake was in that flow when we went on tour because he's a big star at Cruisers.
Yeah, he is. It's a
By the way,
crowd
if
favorite.
you're watching, we do a show every Thursday night at Cruisers Comedy. It's Cruisers Bar. It's a Chicago pizza sports bar, but we call it Cruisers Comedy Club. Thursdays, 8:30 free, Huntington Beach. Sorry, go ahead.
What were we
No,
talking
when
about?
you were
Yeah.
on the road, like didn't you feel a little freedom not performing in front of like people that you know? Like performing in front of strangers is a lot better than performing in front of people
So
you
much
know.
easier.
I feel like the bigger the crowd, the better. I mean,
I know, but don't you feel like strangers? It's easier to make strangers laugh.
no.
I prefer strangers.
Yeah, I
I
prefer
prefer
strangers.
strangers. And when people come to with small bar shows, you can't help it. They're right there. But anything that I'm like, oh, okay, there's a a lot of bigger names on the lineup or whatever. And I'm lucky I don't get stage fright, but I do just kind of like, oh, maybe I should think about this a little more on some shows than others. And I always tell people, like, don't tell me, just come up to me after. Because then don't tell me, because then I'm gonna be worried about where you're sitting and are you
Right.
comfortable and all this other stuff.
Yeah,
and
you got to be the host.
yeah, and I just like.
So
that's
tell
too much
people
work.
how because you're on this open mic like algorithm app, like you have a whole system.
Well, today I did a
Like you're doing,
Yeah.
she'll start doing mics at like
Noon.
mics are called if you're
I s-
watching. You don't know the comedy world. We used to call them open mics, and the millennials started calling them mics.
Well, that's because they're not quite open. Like we pay for our time.
Right. but they start at like noon, like 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and go all the way to like midnight, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Later, yeah. There's a
All
place
day,
called
every
Third
day.
Wheel. I think they start their mic at
Right.
midnight, and huge people come through. I think Kevin Hart came through and just like got up there one day, and it's just there's no such thing as like a little mic anymore because just anybody walks in.
I also think comedy, like comics, are just kind of like crack addicts. We'll go find a stage.
Oh yeah, I always say it's like an
Find people.
AA meeting. Like if you try hard enough, you'll find one every hour on the hour.
Right.
Yeah, so I was supposed to meet one of my friends because I haven't seen her in so long. And she goes, I'm going to be at the cafe, which is Fourth Wall Cafe, and they do mics starting at noon. She goes, I'm going at 1. I'm like, okay, so I'm planned my day. I'm going to do this, cruise over there at 1, do the mic, take care of my friend's cats, come over here, go to the Ha Ha because there's a mic, and then because I have a show tonight in Toluca Lake. So I was just like, okay, this will be fine.
Let me squeeze in this podcast.
Yeah, I'm squeezing this podcast.
Also, who's in the audience at 1 o'clock in the afternoon
Other comics.
on a Monday?
It's other comics.
Like regular working people aren't going to mics.
We did have one walk in. She was like, what is this place?
What the fuck does she do?
She just walked in. She
I know, but
saw-
for a living, what does she do?
Well, it's LA. People don't work really.
Right.
So
But
not
so it's
really.
other comics.
It's other comics.
See, that's a tough thing. That's a tough thing to just try to run your material in front of other competitive, inspiring comics.
If you can make other comics laugh at an open mic,
I agree
the
with
material's
that.
probably going to hit, though.
I agree with that, but there are also a lot of haters in there too.
Yeah, they're just in the back
Depends on the
vaping and talking.
location. I think it depends on the location. I think it depends. Like, I don't know. There's some mics. I won't mention them, but there's some. I mean, I'll go. I'm not a pussy. I'll go. But at the same time, like, I'm just like, ugh, here it comes. Because you can just feel the misogyny in the room. You're like, okay, great.
Okay,
And
can
then.
we quote that, please?
And then there's some that's just they're very, I don't know. It kind of reminds me of school.
Political?
No, it just reminds me of school. They're open mic people that haven't really like broken yet, most of them, so they don't really have too much of an attitude. It's the people that have been in it for like 12 years
Right.
and they still haven't hit yet. That you feel the anger a little bit from them, but that's
I'm sitting right here, Rachel.
But that's like not. It's like I don't know.
That hurt.
Shut up.
No, I
but yeah,
definitely.
just kind of, you just got to go and do you. And also, I always tell, especially women, girls, young girls, if they're like, I don't like this mic because of that, and they get intimidated. I'm like, well, welcome to the world at large. It's always going to be like that. It's always going to be intimidating. You're always going to, if you're a female comedian, you're always going to walk in a room and feel like maybe somebody doesn't want you there, or you're
Girl or guy?
more girls than guys.
Oh, really?
Guys, you guys don't seem to really care. You guys, there's something about men. They just kind of, they just keep going. Like women, they get kind of a hard time before they even open their mouths a little bit. It's
Sounds
definitely
like somebody I used to date.
it's definitely like a male dominated.
It is. The
It's,
comedy
you
world's
know.
definitely male dominated. That's why.
Not to say all men in comedy are terrible.
No,
They're not.
but I'm
You're
saying,
definitely not. You're definitely
but
not.
even
But
if
it
you
is
like,
hard.
if you look at some of the people that were popped for like, sexual inappropriation, and whether
Yeah, they're all back now.
They're all back.
They're all back. Nobody
Selling
gave
out.
a shit.
Don't miss 'em.
Nobody gave a shit.
No, there was-
Everyone was like, "Oh my god, I'm so not gonna talk to them." Secretly talking to them, and now they're back, and everyone's back on their jock, and I'm like, "Wow, okay, cool. Who's headlining? Bill Cosby? Awesome. Let's sell this bitch out. Let's sell this
going
bitch
back
out.
on tour, I think.
Bro,
Sell this
he's gonna
bitch out.
sell
He's gonna sell out.
For sure.
Dude,
I'm
he's-
opening for him.
People want to hear his story.
I want to know what the fuck were you thinking?
You know who's opening for him?
Me.
OJ. OJ Simpson is going to be his opening act, and then R. Kelly is supposed to do some music.
Oh yeah, he's
Shit.
composing the music.
So hold on.
Going to be directed by.
So how do you? So who? Like, how do you? Are you just on the phone emailing all? Because I see you're on the grid a lot.
I'm addicted to Instagram.
No, but I'm saying like you're booking a lot of random and also like specific, like the Latino show at Supernova.
I'm just getting
that kind of thing.
I'm
like,
just getting the Latin thing lately.
well, you
It's,
should have fucking read that. You should have.
Are you a Latino or is
I,
this like a
no,
a
I am.
tan?
But here's
What the
the
fuck have you
thing: is
been?
I am by heritage.
Own it. You guys
By
are working.
but the thing is like
I should start
as
saying
far
I'm
as
Latino.
like culturally, I'm not. I'm really. It's really. It's just.
You said
by-
your mom was half Mexican.
She is, but my mom. Okay, so here's the thing:
Hey, take it.
is my mom grew up in Texas, being Mexican, Spanish, and Apache in a time where it wasn't cool, and she had a hard time. So her thought process. She meant well. Like, I don't think she realized how much she'd be screwing me in the future, like denying me of my actual heritage. But she thought it'd be easier for me if I just was white. So she
Claimed
moved
white?
me. Yeah, she just.
I wish
moved
my
me-
parents would have told me that.
She just moved me to La
Honestly,
Jolla, California, and that was that.
My dad,
So-
my parents were like, never lose your culture.
You shouldn't.
Always. And I was just like, I just want to be white. Like, trust me, it's going to be easier. I wish my parents would have said, look, listen, you want to have a good life in America? Tell everybody your name is Blake.
That's fucked up.
Okay? And you're white. I will get you contacts.
Your name is Blake.
Blue contacts, and I want you to be Blake.
Yeah. So and then cut to when I'm in the entertainment industry and like, do you speak Spanish? No. Can you learn Spanish? No. It's just like so it's something. I mean, there's definitely I've been to see the rest of my family, which half of my family speaks Spanish, and I can't understand a thing that they say. But there are certain things that I do remember. But my mom I don't know why it was so important to her. I think she just thought it would be easier. But then.
I just wanted you to
But
assimilate.
but for an actress though, that's the worst thing you could do is like look Mexican and then you can't speak Spanish and you're like, what the fuck?
My friend's grandparents were like that.
It's
They didn't teach
3:33.
'em.
Say a prayer, make a wish. I don't know if you believe in all that.
I always make a wish at 11:11.
11:11, but 3:20.
Because it's my
Pause and go
birthday.
home and rearrange your energy
Three,
crystals.
Oh, thanks, Blake. Funny you should ask.
Do you
I
have
collect
crystals?
yeah, I have crystals.
Okay, I was trying to remember.
I have
if I'd
crystals.
seen
Dude, he
them.
has this whole little like shrine, and he was rearranging them like a fucking crackhead. One
Yeah.
night.
Do you
I'm like,
charge-
what are you doing? He's
Do you
like, "I don't like
charge them
fucking
in the
energy."
moonlight? Do you recharge them in the
Yeah, and
moonlight?
then
The
so
whole
I'll
thing.
bring them if you'll allow it, my co-host. I'll bring
Bring
my
the fucking
crystals.
sage too. Bring it all.
The sage. I have a singing bowl. I have a very. People look at me and they go, Ahmed, you're so cool. You can't be spiritual.
They say it all
No
the
one's
time.
ever said that.
No, they say it often. Actually, I've heard it
joking.
myself.
I have a geeky spiritual like vibe about me that I don't share with people.
It's out
that-
there now.
Well,
People
thanks,
named
man.
Blake.
You know what?
It's out there, dude.
I'm still not going to share my secret, but you can. You can.
You
if
already
want.
know. We already know your secret. Blanco tequila.
That's right. Blanco tequila. Honestly, that's what makes me look so young.
The tequila.
The Blanco tequila. Like, I'm not drinking whiskey. I'm not drinking all these dark, like sugary.
I like whiskey.
And Stella's though.
Stella,
Lot
that's
of
probably
Stella.
yeah. Stella's probably like my vice. I like the way Stella tastes. If I could be a sponsor for Stella, please, I'm right here.
Artua.
So hold on.
Drink
Look,
of choice. What's your drink?
I'm easy. I'll
I'm a
drink a
Jameson.
light.
lately,
I'm a
lately,
Jameson.
I
you've
used to
been
do
drinking-
Crown and Cokes a lot.
Lately, we've been drinking Stellas.
I don't even consider beer drinking though. You're just drinking beer.
You sip. I sip on the beer.
Yeah.
Last summer when it was hot at the pool, I was fucking with White Claws a lot.
Oh my God, you're a trashy white girl.
Yeah.
Oh
I
no.
was basic.
Oh
Yeah.
no. Your name was
But
Becky.
you could drink those all fucking day and not get all bloated, still be at the pool, kind of like putting the vibe out, you know? You guys are judgy. I don't like it.
I'm judging the fuck out of you.
Yeah.
White Claw, you might as well fucking join a sorority.
That reminds me of, like, remember Zimas? Aren't they?
Zimas?
Yeah, aren't they? Isn't that the same as a White Claw?
They
Do
were
you remember Zima's, Wolf?
Because Zimas were strong.
was it?
Zimas would knock you on your ass because it's malt
No,
liquor.
it was like Red Bull and like
No.
what was it? Remember the
It was
taste?
just a clear.
It had a nasty taste to it.
No, it tasted
then they
like
made,
weird. It just tasted weird.
It had like a nasty.
Then they made a
weird
Smirnoff
taste to it.
Ice that was like Zima, like years later. You remember that? Smirnoff
No,
Ice?
I stopped. Well, I don't drink those things. I think I tried one once. I'm like, this is terrible. And I like drank not that much, and I got like really drunk. I'm like, what is in this crap? And like, it's malt liquor. I'm like, I don't know what that
Yeah.
means.
It's a
What does that mean?
It's a definite headache.
Yeah, I drink Jameson. So like,
Jameson's delicious.
I turned into Jamie after a few
I used to drink.
drinks.
I
Have
used
you ever
to
tried it
drink
with a
Jameson.
pickleback?
Did you say
No.
Nickelback?
Yeah.
Pickles.
Pickleback.
You
Pickle.
get fucking
But-
pickle juice. You take your Jameson shot and then you just sip a little of the
People
pickle
love it.
juice.
It's a thing.
It must be a white
They
person
often
thing.
do it. Yeah.
You've heard it before though,
Yeah,
right?
I have.
I have,
of
I've
course.
heard
Yeah.
that.
It's better than fucking Coke. I don't know. Coca-Cola. No.
No, I drink it neat.
Go back to what
Like
you
a,
were
like,
saying
a,
earlier.
like a man.
Hell
how,
yeah.
how do you book your gigs?
How do I book my
wanna
gigs?
just go- I
I
want to finish that lingering topic.
Do you have an agent?
do not have. It's the
No,
second
she-
podcast where somebody asked me if I had.
No, but I'm saying like, do you have a regiment? Do you get up every morning and go, I'm gonna cross off?
No,
you
I
know, these
haven't done
bookers?
that yet. I don't even know if that. I don't know if that
You have a
works
schedule.
for everyone.
I've seen it.
I have a
Like
schedule.
book.
No, I carry it with me all the time.
It's a book. She has like a journal.
book, and I have to.
That you log
I have to do it
everything.
old school, and because I have to physically see it. If I don't write it down in the book, it doesn't exist, and then I'll forget about it. So what happens is I go to a lot of shows, and
You meet the bookers.
I don't do. I just support. I do. I have friends from open mics that we kind of come up together, you know. And
Rachel's
I
also
support
really
them.
supportive. She always
support them.
recommends comics. You should check this person out.
Yeah, I'm always sending you stuff. It's like,
No,
you're like, I'm
you have
sleeping.
you have like a casting director producer vibe about you. Were like, you should.
And I'm honest
think you
too.
cheer- I think
I'll
you
say
really
I'm like, this
cheer on-
person's
yeah.
like a five
Yeah.
opener, 5 minutes. This
Yeah.
one's like, you should give him a shot. I just support people, and then I make sure that I get people's Instagram. It's a great tool if you don't mind it, and I just like their photos, follow them, and nature just kind of takes its course after that. Either they look at my stuff and they go, "Oh, you're a comic too. Do you want to do my show?" Or they don't. So that's pretty much how it's working so far. I have not sent off a tape of myself ever.
Really?
Ever. I just now started posting videos, which I'm like, don't want to do it because I'm just like, why do I feel like I'm going to regret this in like 2 years or something? But no, I just show up and I'm not an asshole. That's pretty much how it works. And I think somehow I've managed to get on some good stages. So
You're on some really good shows. Like
that's kind of like, it's the same thing for acting. Like, you're only as good as the last show you were on.
right.
People, other producers, bookers will look at it and they're like, oh, okay, well, she did that show, so she can't be that bad. I'll put her on this show. That can be very dangerous if you're a booker, because there are some people that, like, I don't know how they got on a show. I've been offered some stuff that I turned down because I felt I
You
wasn't
told me a
ready.
funny
I wasn't
story.
ready. I'm like, I'm not ready for that.
You told me a funny story about a comic we won't mention.
Which one? I've told you so many stories.
No, because okay. So first of all, I always try to always have females.
You're
on the
very
show.
good about it. Yeah, you're always.
And not
having
even
one.
for diversity reasons. Like, they're just funny, smart, cool, whatever. You know, and I don't want to put like looks in there. Some are.
They don't hurt.
Yeah, like some. Look, some male comics are more attractive than others, and vice versa with women. But for me, funny's funny. If you're a funny female, you're gonna come on my shows. So I always book, like, you, Crystal Marie. I've had Jen Sturger, who's going to be on the podcast soon. I don't know, Anya Azova, right? Just like really confident, like really strong, beautiful female comics. And I always get these comics that say, hey, so-and-so messaged me and thinks that we're sleeping together because you booked me on all your shows. And I'm like, what?
That's what that was. I'll say who. Well, I won't say who it is. I won't say who it is.
And I go, what? I'm like, really? They're like, I'm like, how is that even possible? Because I don't even put off a sexual vibe.
Don't. So here's what
Like,
happened.
I almost come across like the older gay brother.
Here's what happened.
Like, hey,
there's a woman that I haven't.
It's happened a couple times.
We're work friends. We're work friends.
By the way, real quick, it's happened a couple times. Crystal said it to me. I think Jen may have said it. Anya, no, because Anya will fucking beat the shit.
Yeah, she'll be like, "What?"
But I've had like female comics say, "Hey, these male comics or even female comics think that we're sleeping together because you're putting me on your."
I'm more offended that it was a woman. I am way more offended. I'm offended because we're not friends, but we're like work friends, whatever. And then I haven't talked to her for a while.
I thought it was funny when you told
and
her.
Then,
I was like, I don't even
and then
know.
she calls me up, doesn't even say hi. She goes, are you dating Ahmed? And dating in LA means are you fucking? There's not boyfriend, girlfriend. We don't do that out here.
This is why this podcast.
So I got really irritated by it. And when I did say, I'm like, what on God's green earth would possess you to say that?
Right.
And not because you're not attractive or anything like that, simply because you just don't ask that of someone. I'm like, well, if we were friends, I would have told you yes or no anyway, and we're obviously not friends, so why are you asking? You didn't even say hi to me. Her response to me wasn't, I heard a rumor, you guys look cute together, whatever. It was flat out, because you're on all his shows. And I was like, bitch, if I could slap you through this fucking phone, I would. And I said, I'm like, wow, do you understand how sexist that it sounds? I'm like, did you say that out of your actual fucking mouth? I was just in shock. And she goes, well, I think he's attractive. I'm like, well, good, then you can go fuck him then. I'm like, I'm like,
I wish.
I was like, are you?
Where are these women? I wish.
I'm like, you realize your line is supposed to say, I'm sorry, my intention wasn't to upset you.
Yeah.
Instead, she just kept going on of like, well, you're on all his shows. I'm like, so you're saying that I have zero talent, and the only way that I can get on shows is that I'm fucking the producer?
By the way, I wish
not only are you insulting me,
I know who it is, and when I heard about
you're
it,
insulting
I
me,
laughed
but also this man has never been inappropriate ever. Like A+ on the gentlemanness of this man. And so I'm like, so you're literally, don't say that.
I'll Venmo you tomorrow.
Don't fucking say that, because you're like literally trash talking my friend that I work with often, and you're questioning his character
and yours.
So you're
yours.
So you're fucking pissing me off
and
twice.
you
You're pissing me off
We're all in
twice.
on it.
So yeah, that was that. I haven't talked to her since. She knows I don't like her.
I'll tell you what. Here's what I want to do.
Brought the country out of her.
I was
We
pissed.
we're coming in on 15 minutes because we're ending at 4, right, Wolf? Yes, sir. So let's talk about what's going on with you now. What do you have coming up? And then we're gonna ask you and Blake if you have any last. I do want to read that article from Applause Break.
I'll pull it up for you.
Yeah. Do you want to read it or should I read it?
You got an article?
I'm not a good reader. I'll read it. We'll see how I do. Are you acting? Are you still trying to act?
I'm not going to read your
And then you're
article.
going to tell you. No, somebody wrote an article about.
Is that what you were getting at? You're trying to get me to read your article?
And then we're gonna ask you your best Hollywood tale. Hence.
Why don't we just tell the story and not read the article?
No, because the article sounds great. I'll read it.
All right.
Somebody was at the show that night that we didn't film. It was the only show we didn't film the whole tour for some reason. I didn't want to.
It was already chatty in there.
No, I felt like there was just bad vibes in the room, and I didn't want to fucking. My spider senses were tingling, and I was like, no cameras. And it was just loud. It was just like this weird, loud bar show. But I wish we would have recorded it. But there was a guy in there taking photos, and he was a journalist, or is a journalist for this publication called Applause Break. And he covered it pretty accurately, don't you think?
Yeah.
Let's read it in the end. I want to talk about what's going on right now with Rachel and what she's got going on, and then we'll read that, and then she'll tell her best Hollywood tale, and we'll wrap it up, right?
Okay.
Boom.
All right, we got 16 minutes.
Okay.
What's going on with you right now? What's
going on
next
right
for
now?
you? What's your future? What are you promoting?
What am I doing? This week I'm doing a show tonight at 8:30 in Toluca Lake. It's the place going to a place where I got roofied. I did a show
What?
there before.
Where?
I got Mrs. Robinson's Pub, and this is not a bad advertisement for them. It's not their fault. Just somebody that was
Hey
there.
guys, want to get roofied? Go
Wanna
to
get
Mrs.
roofied?
Robinson's.
So I went, and
It's
I
a
wasn't
karaoke night
watching. I
spot.
wasn't watching my drink, and
Don't you go
that's
there
what
for karaoke?
happened. And
Where is this place?
it's in Toluca Lake.
No, but like what street?
Fuck, I don't know. You'd have to look.
Is it on
my-
Riverside Drive?
Probably. You'd have to look at my website. I don't know where anything is.
I don't know.
I
Maybe
just
that's
I
Let's
just
look it
type
up,
it
'cause
into
I wanna-
Waze and
I
I
wanna-
go. But it's upstairs. It was a really great crowd.
You're going back to the scene of the crime?
I am going. I'm not drinking. Definitely not drinking.
Who do you think roofied your drink?
I don't know. There was
Yeah,
some,
Riverside Drive.
There was nothing
Yeah,
but.
I've actually been to that place. It's like a little speakeasy.
They have karaoke night. I know
I
you've
met
been
George
there.
Carlin there once.
We got I don't know. We got a good crowd, so it could have been anyone. And the thing is the bartender put my drink up. I was talking to somebody. I wasn't watching it.
Wait.
Oh, he did.
When you got roofied, though, you just what like everything's
What
good?
No, what happened is I got sick. Like I immediately got, I was like, I feel really sick. And I did get sick. Then I just wanted to go home. I did drive home because I should.
You drove home roofied?
But here's the thing: it's not like I wasn't tired. I just wanted to go. I was like threw up already, so I was just like, I'm just going home. I'm just going home. When I got home, parked my car, got out of it. There's video of me. I just dropped. Like, just shows you how fucking stubborn I am. Like, no, I am getting home right now.
Careful, people. Careful out there in Los Angeles.
And then I proceeded to go up to my apartment, and I don't remember.
How long were
I
you
called
out?
somebody. It was just like I called somebody.
Are you sure you didn't roofie yourself?
I didn't roofie myself. I promise. Yeah, and then the next day I had a hangover as if I stayed up for like 3 days straight partying, and I had one drink. So there's that. But I'm going back there tonight, and it's gonna be great.
Mrs. Robinson.
Mrs. Robinson's,
And,
and then
Toluca Lake on Riverside Drive. You want to get roofied and check out Rachel Sterling? Check it out. It's hot.
And then I'm excited because Wednesday, I'm going to do the thing with, is it Wednesday or Thursday? Wednesday, I'm doing the thing with Adam, his new place, Adam Hunter.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Is
Adam
it,
Hunter has a new show.
Micah?
Adam
Okay.
Hunter is going to be on this podcast. He's actually doing cruisers this
Thursday. Yep.
Thursday. Monster comic. Adam comedian.
great.
Yeah, he's so funny.
Such a nice guy.
He started a new room on Melrose, right?
Yeah, so I'm going to do.
What's it called?
Micah or Micah? It's Micah. Micca. It's on Melrose. And then Thursday is Black Rabbit Rose.
That's right,
So,
Supernova.
Yeah, so they're opening their
supernova.com.
second stage type thing in a
Nice.
magic. It's a magic room. I don't know. It's so funny because they're like, "Do you want to do this thing?" And they're talking to me like, "I know where this club is." I'm like, "I don't go outside. You don't understand unless
walking distance from
unless
Supernova.
there's no." But all the kids know where it
Didn't we
is
go
because it's a
there?
hip
Yeah.
happening.
We went
club.
there, right? That little-
You,
yeah, we went there.
on New Year's.
It was New Year's Eve. We went to that little place.
Yeah, well, it's a little.
They have a
It's where
comedy
the
club
kids.
there?
So the cool kids go there. I
like that
I don't go out unless there's a microphone
So
there for me to
funny.
talk into. I don't go out. So I was like, I don't know where
That's
that
why
is.
Rachel's here with us.
I don't know. You
because
have to tell me what
there's
it
a
was in
microphone with her
2008.
name on it.
You have to tell me what it was in 2008, and then I'll remember what it was.
So real quick, we have 12 minutes.
Yeah.
Just because we want to have a
a
hard
Hollywood tale, like something that
No,
happened
no,
in
no,
Hollywood.
real quick.
Like,
What's
Okay.
what's
I have ADD.
your near, like you told us what you have booked this week.
Yeah.
What's your near and far future plans as a comic? Like, where do you see yourself landing? Netflix special, sitcom deal, fucking. You want to fly helicopters? Like,
No, honestly,
what's the big picture for you?
right now, I just want.
Manifest it right here at the Jam of the Van.
Right now, I
Studios.
just want to go on the road, and you know what I mean. The thing is, the Netflix special, the sitcom, isn't as appealing to me because I've already been an actor. I would think that's.
Whoa.
I feel like
We have a live celebrity in the house.
No, I feel no because they're two totally different
messing
things.
around.
They're
Yeah, I
two
get
totally
you. Yeah,
different
yeah.
things, and it's like for me to do that thing.
Please saying a comedy special.
Like, well, I mean,
Like,
anybody
sure,
can have
you
a
want-
comedy special.
It's true.
You know what I mean? So
But you just want to be on the road and perform.
I just right now my like last year I was a beast about getting booked. Very aggressive about you know, the type of shows I was doing and placing myself, you know, saying no. I had to say no to a lot of shows because not. I just want to do like the ones that are going to elevate me.
Makes sense,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? Like where there's a good lineup that I'm going to learn from people.
Sure.
And I'm not so worried about how many shows I'm doing now. Now it's more of the quality of the show, and it's more on me to work on the content. Because not that I was skating, I worked. I mean, I go to mics and I work on my stuff, but I definitely wasn't paying as much attention to the content and making it tight and sharp like I should have been. Like it was kind of like, oh, I just want to do this, and now it's not.
No,
I'd
you
rather
definitely
do
carved
6
out.
shows a month, which I'm, and have it be like I'm really making progress at each one versus
When you were at Cruisers last, I guess the week before last, your comedy was really sharp and on point. So
Thank you.
I could,
I had some new jokes.
you can see. Well, no, you can see the progression. You can see, Blake too. When we were on the road, he was trying new stuff and crafting, and it's really, like it's repetition. The more times you're on stage, the more you're gonna get better at, carving out your story. Your
Wouldn't you
narrative.
say though that is the danger sometimes of not leaving LA and getting in the
It's a
niche,
big
the
danger.
niches and the little cliques and stuff that they
You
have?
have to-
because you don't. Your friends,
You have
those
to go on
cliques
the
will
road.
tell you you're amazing when you're not fucking
You
amazing.
have to go on the road, not only domestically, like internationally, but internationally. You have to, where does your comedy transcend? I've done stand-up comedy in 50 countries, so, and I still don't have a TV deal. But anyway, who's jaded? I am. But I feel like I've transcended enough to where I can, and I don't even consider myself a great comic. I think I'm a better producer, but I like stand-up comedy. I think I'm a good craftsman. I can saw wood. Real quick, I want to read this article, and then we're going to have Rachel close it out with her best Hollywood tale.
You want me to read it?
If you don't want to, you want to read it?
No,
Shit.
isn't there like an app?
Should
to
I read it? It's up to you.
I'd like you to read it.
Okay, I'll read it.
Don't they have that for like people that can't read, and you just push it and then computer?
By the way,
reads for you?
I'm very
nice.
dyslexic, so if I'm
We're
slow,
all dyslexic.
That's why I don't want to read it.
We're all
I'm
dyslexic, so
slow-
we're all sweating it
if
right
I'm
now.
slow, then
We could play popcorn.
can you see the picture of that, Wolf? Can we zoom in on that or?
Pull it back. Pull it back. Yeah, it's too bright.
Okay. Chuck King, who writes for Applause Break, which is a. Thanks, buddy. I wish you guys can see it.
It's a great photo.
I'm joking. That's the backdrop. There's like a mural there. It was the only show we didn't record on our tour for some reason. It was chatty. It was a weird vibe. It was raining, storming and shit.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, fuck it, let's just do it. But this guy was a journalist, or is a journalist, named Chuck King, Applause Break, and here's what he writes. Boca Raton, on stage, comic Ahmed Ahmed isn't looking for a fight. He's also not about to back away from one. Especially when he feels cancel culture is rushing the stage. Tonight really represented, this is me talking, tonight really represented how we are not even close to being finished with cancel culture, the woke audience, Ahmed said, and it's too bad. A 30-year-old veteran of stand-up comedy, Ahmed exercised his vocal pugilism, is that the word? Mm-hmm. Boxing? If
Yeah.
you guys, I didn't know what the fuck was the word.
Like what's
I had to Google it.
pugilism?
His vocal pugilism or boxing during Thursday's show at the Beer Garden, triggered by an audience member he had mysteriously and unintentionally somehow triggered. I'm in my 50s now, so I'm in a place where I'm like, you know what? I'm going to address it, Ahmed said. I'm going to be called confrontational, controversial, hard-hitting. That's who I am.
Dun, 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 dun.
Florida audience haven't exactly been kind to Ahmed. Following the show 2 years ago in Naples, an audience member called 911 to report Ahmed as a potential terrorist for a joke he made on stage. Police investigated, but no charges were filed.
This
On
wasn't the
Thursday.
same venue, was it? Sorry
No,
to interrupt
different-
you. Okay.
No, but different. Yeah, no, but same part of Florida.
That'd be
like
crazy if
Boca,
it
yeah.
was.
No, I know, right? Where was this? On Thursday, Ahmed opened his set by referencing those bizarre events. Later in the set, one middle-aged woman in the crowd began arguing with Ahmed, referencing what she had heard, actually what she thought she heard, in the opening moments of the show. She told Ahmed he shouldn't joke about 9/11. I never said those words, Ahmed said. Excuse me, I just burped. I said someone called 911 on me over a joke. This woman wanted to hear what she wanted to hear. Even when Ahmed pointed out that he never said anything about September 11th attacks, she persisted in arguing. All she heard was 9/11 terrorists, Ahmed said. They're not listening to the underlying message. Ahmed spent the next 5 minutes humorously scolding the woman and her table mates. During that period, the rest of the audience started to rally behind Ahmed. At one point, a man in the back yelled out, "Let it go, it's just comedy." It's true. Interruptions of this sort are rare, and the twice monthly show at Beer Garden, something must have been in the bratwurst that Thursday. Anyway, it just goes on and on. I think we have 4 minutes. If you guys want to check it out, go to applauseBreak.com/Ahmed. Pulling the Trigger is the article. Rachel, what's your best Hollywood tale? We have about
Is this a pickle
5
or
minutes.
a cactus?
Wolf, what is that? It's cactus.
The cactus. I'm sorry, I'm so ADD right now. I was like, do I see a pickle on the side of my eye?
No, we thought it was too. They were like, no, it's a cactus.
Oh,
In-
Hollywood story,
in,
something that only happens in Hollywood.
In 5 minutes, what's your best Hollywood tale? And then we want to
I
plug our
mean,
shows.
Hugh Hefner's in the news right now because all the girls are like throwing him under the bus now.
He's dead, isn't he?
He's dead. I love how they wait till he's dead when he can't
The
defend
money train
himself.
stopped.
Jeez.
I don't have horrible Hugh Hefner stories. I did. My friends lived in the mansion. They were his girlfriends, and you know how I'm allergic to weed.
Right. Oh, by the way, Jam in the Van is a very weed-friendly complex.
Yeah.
You can actually roll joints upstairs, like,
I'm hopped up on allergy pills right
No,
now.
when you
like-
walk in, there's the smell of weed in here. In the podcast studio,
no,
we're
it's
not
very,
smoking.
Yeah,
here.
no. It's
It's
lovely.
very- but the whole place is very weed-friendly. So Rachel's like, I'm allergic. What should I do? Sorry,
She might just be allergic to all her fucking cats, but whatever.
I mean, I do have an insane amount of cat hair on me right now. So anyway, I was at the mansion. I don't know, where was I? I was
Hugh Hefner, your
doing something,
girlfriends.
and somehow I ended up hanging out with my friends and because they were at the same place I was at, and I wanted to ditch the people I was with. That's what happened. So we go in the limo. The limo was a new experience because I've hung out with them and him at the house, but never like, you know how they used to go to club after club.
Oh, yeah, yeah. They
And
used
I
to come to
always never
Dublin's.
wanted to do it because I'm like, oh, I don't want to be like
They used to come
one
to
of the little
Dublin's.
ducks in the row. I thought that was like the worst like walk of shame ever. But I was like, fuck it, whatever. And I go in the vehicle. He had Girls Just Want to Have Fun on a loop. Like there's no other song that was playing, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
That's actually
and
kinda
I
smart.
said something, and then it was kind of like, I don't know. It was like, "Shh, don't say anything." I'm like, "Why? It's stupid." And like, "Shh, no, we have to act like we like it." I'm like, "That's so weird." I'm like, "Okay." It was like that was kind of weird, and then we go out. I proceed to get Rip Orange. I think I'm wearing a Santa outfit from Trashy Lingerie. Like I'm just dressed like an idiot, and then we go home. My car is at the mansion, and then I don't know where they came from, but we'll go up, and he's like, "Oh, so and so, find Rachel some jammies." So there's a whole room this big full of different
Who said find you
Playboy
jammies?
Huh? Hef.
Hef.
Oh,
And
nice.
so I'm
Hef
like,
got you
sweet.
jammies?
Get her some
Yeah, there's
jammies.
Playboy jammies that we all get. It was like, okay, cool.
Do you still
Playboy
have 'em?
jammy. No, I like ripped them off, put my clothes off, and left after.
I would've
at the
sold
end of
that shit
this.
on eBay.
I should have. I wasn't that smart.
It's lingerie.
So I go back, I leave my stuff in my friend's room. I come in, I got my jams on, and I look, and I don't know where these women came from, but there's extra women. And they're in this little tiny, his room's amazingly big. And like there's this little tub, and they're all in there like little sardines, just like, they're soaking. I don't know what they're doing. I'm like, what are they doing? And the one in charge, his number one girlfriend at the time, not Holly, was like, she was kind of rude about it. She's like, God, get up. get out. There's a towel. Go over there. I mean, it was just feeling these girls like, and they're all happy as fuck to be there before anyone starts like, oh my God, he brainwashed them. No, we didn't. They all were like fighting to be in first position there. And I was fascinated. I'm like, look at these hoes. I'm like, oh my God, oh, this is crazy. And I was just, I couldn't look away. So I was like, I had snacks. I had my jammies on. There is a rotating bed. There's tons of, like, lots of screens with lots of porn. And I was just fascinated by it. I'm like, this is exactly what I wanted it to be. I'm like, of course this is his room. How else could it not be his room? I thought I was safe because I'm not blonde. There's nothing but blondes there. I am the only not blonde. I'm like,
Is our live stream done?
He doesn't.
We're about to wrap
Yeah,
up.
he doesn't. He's not into me. So anyway,
We have like what 30
this
seconds?
is when I had to like. I was there. I all of a sudden I think I'm invisible. It turns out I'm not invisible. There is a heft penis like this close to my face, and I'm like shit, and it's running through my head. I'm like fuck, I can't say no because that's rude. I'm here, and I'm at the same time I don't want to do this. So I just like threw my friend down and like started just throwing my hair around. It was just like the worst girl show you've ever seen. He bought it, went over somewhere else. I was unscathed, but at the same time, then I was just like.
Wait, you said his penis was like right?
It was right there. It was like it was
Whoa.
like
Hold
We
on.
kind of went right past that.
No,
we have
it
to
was-
do like episode 6.
no, because there were all these girls, and it was just like an orgy
Hold on,
of
you
women
threw
on
the
this
girl down and-
rotating bed.
Oh,
and
so
I was
he missed you basically.
no, he came at me. I thought I was safe because I'm not blonde.
He was in the carousel.
Shit.
I mean,
I
I'm
was just
sorry.
like la 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 la. Like,
What's
going
he
around.
saying? What's he
doesn't
doing?
say anything.
He's
He's just here it is, and it was
This
just
might
like
be the best Hollywood
It
tale
was,
we've
it
ever.
was, you know, he was an 80-year-old man, so it was impressive for an old dude. But I was just like, oh my God, it's here, and I
his
can't
balls
say.
like
I didn't even know. I was
Okay.
like cross-eyed, staring
Kids
at
are
him, like,
watching.
oh my God, it's right there. And I'm like, what do you do? What do you do? It's like I'm here, I'm wearing the jammies. I can't be like, oh no, sir, how dare you put your penis in my face? And like everyone else is like, well, we agreed to have penis in our face. I'm like, shit. What do I do? So I was like, there was more than one way to skin a cat. And so I just threw my friend down and pretended to like fake make out with her. And he was like, oh, I like that. And then he just like, went over to somebody else. I'm like, whew. And then I rolled out. I'm like,
yeah.
I need to go home.
My
But, yeah.
my mom's watching this podcast.
Yeah, sorry. But I do blame it on he was
I'm joking.
smoking weed, and I don't smoke weed.
I think my mom's
I
watching
don't
too.
smoke
Actually.
weed. I've smoked weed with two people because you just don't say no. Hugh Hefner and Willie Nelson. Both grades
I
of
smoked weed
weed.
with Willie Nelson once.
Both great. Knocked you on your ass. I was like on another planet.
I'll tell that on our
On
next
another
podcast. I got high
planet.
with Willie Nelson one time.
You don't say no when Willie says you
When
want to
Willie
smoke out. You
says-
say
Oh,
okay.
it's
Someone have a song. I'll
It's a
never
funny-
smoke weed with Willie
It's a funny
again.
story.
Do they?
Are
They
we
should.
should wrap it up?
There's a
It'll
song.
knock you out.
Yo, guys, Rachel, love you. Thank you, dear.
Thank you.
Blake, great episode 5. This is episode 5, Hollywood Tales, live from Jam in the Van. Check us out on YouTube. Just go to Jam in the Van. We have a show here coming up on February 12th. It's a Saturday night. Go to jaminthevan.com. Check it out. Ahmed Ahmed and Friends. Comedy Compound. Are you going to do it? Are you in town?
I don't remember.
She might do it, so if you guys want to see it.
Saturday, February 12th.
February 12th. Wolf Ramirez, Jack Higgins, the two Jakes, Blake Barty.
Yeah.
jaminthevan.com. Check them out. Episode 5, Hollywood Tales. Love you guys.
Super fun.
Peace
Thank you.
out. Thanks. So fun.